Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I sharpen the single bevel Japanese Deba. I'll point out that not everything in this video will be agreed on by mainstream sharpeners out there, because there are always several ways to do anything. Having said that, this process works best for me. I hope that you'll be able to draw on sections of this video for your own sharpening. In this video I'm using this recently acquired Deba. It's nearly new and only appears to have been touched up once or twice. The edge geometry hasn't been stuffed up by someone keen to add a second bevel or worn down the urayoshi in an attempt to get rid of the hollow grind. I believe it's paramount to preserve the hollow grind as much as possible. You don't want to wear down that hollow grind unnecessarily, because it will shorten the life of your blade. However, I also believe it must be sharpened regularly, as it contributes significantly to the slicing of your protein. So ignore the back of the blade at your own peril. Now I'm going to do a lot of the talking in this video as I sharpen. To begin with, I'm going to use a 3000 grit whetstone on the back of the blade. I'm doing this so I can gauge if the blade is damaged or has chips. A 300 grit stone is not so aggressive that it will do much more than just polish the urayoshi, which is really just the edges of the spine and the edge. I prefer to hold a right-handed knife in my left hand so that the spine leads and the edge trails. For left-hand knives, the process is reversed. After about 10 to 20 gentle strokes, the blade can be inspected to make sure that the wear is even. Now I like to put my fingers on the primary bevel and just push forward. My left hand is basically just supporting the blade and making sure that my strokes are even. Now, I can see that we've got a pretty even wear pattern on the spine and on the edge. I might give it just a few more just to make sure that that part there is in contact. You'll also notice that I'm holding the spine roughly, or the knife roughly 90 or perpendicular to the stone, rather than the traditional method of sharpening double bevel knives, because it can cause, if the stone slips into there, you can damage the urasaki, sorry. The other thing I have noticed is some people have done it like this. I don't try it like that, I don't sharpen like that, but I don't see why you couldn't. It's probably worth experimenting, and I might do that at some other time. For now, I'll leave the back of the blade and start working on the bevel side, or the front of the blade. Now I like to exercise some caution here. I'll be using a 400 grit stone, but I'm going to be fairly slow and checking it fairly frequently, because once you've taken that metal off, you just simply cannot put it back on again. And while I'm at it, I'll talk about bevels, because there are some people that believe that you should take the primary bevel straight down to the edge and not put in a micro bevel. Now with the Yanaga bar, I agree with that, because they're generally only slicing protein and you could be skinning fish. However, the Deba gets its enormous strength from the micro bevel. I've never chipped a Deba with a micro bevel, but I have damaged one trying to eke out that last bit of sharpness by removing the bevel and just cutting the primary to the edge. My suggestion is avoid the temptation. Now we're just about done here. I can feel a burr, and I'll give that a quick strop to remove it. before proceeding. Now, in one of my previous videos I did mention that you could hear a burr, and I'll show you how I do it. And it's just using the scourer part of a dishwashing pad. Now if I run that over, the knife over, you should be able to hear that. That's a great way to test for a burr without getting your fingers in the road, because I have cut my fingers on burrs because they're damn sharp. Okay, now I've checked the burr, I've removed it, and now I'm just going to give, there's just a fraction, a little bit hanging over. I'm just going to give the back of the blade just 2 or 3, or maybe 4 strokes, just to make sure the burr isn't present. And then I'm going to do the micro bevel again, and I'm going to give it, say, 50 to 100 strokes. I'm going to check that frequently, say every 20 strokes, just to make sure I'm not going off the rails. I don't want to create a huge bevel. Okay, so now I've checked the edge and it's coming along very nicely. I'm going to ramp up to a 3000 grit stone, but I'm only going to do the micro bevel with that. And I'm just going to refine that micro bevel. I'm going to do probably 100 strokes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And then when that's done, I'll move to the 5000 grit stone. Okay, I can see now the micro bevel is firmly set, and the micro bevel runs evenly from the heel to the tip. Now I'm going to do some work with the Morihei 6000. I'm actually going to give it some work on the back of the blade now. Some very light work, but we're starting to polish now. A little bit of abrasion, bit of polishing. I'm going to do about 30 strokes, turn it over, and then do about 30 to 50 on the other side, and then check. Okay, the work on the 6000 grit Morihei went quite well. It's got real bite to it, and it is quite sharp. We've preserved the Uriyoshi. You can see about a 2mm line, or polished area, going on both sides of the spine and the edge, and that shows, you know, the hollow, of course, has not been touched. You don't want more than 2 to 3 mils or 2/16 of an inch on this area. Let the edge do the work, and the micro bevel will give you the strength to, will give the blade the strength, not you the strength, to go through bones and small stuff like that. Now I'm going to polish that on the 8000 grit Emanishi. I'll probably do, because it's not an abrasive stone, I'll probably do 50 on the back and about the same on the front. Okay, I've got a cracker finish on that now. That edge is just beautiful. And what I'll do is I'm going to finish the stone on this 12,000 grit Moroi high, I'll probably do 30 strokes on the back, and then on the micro bevel I'll do that twice, and then I'm going to strop on the stone. I'll give it 12 each side. I find that the Moroi high gives enough tooth to slice protein beautifully. In fact, that's how I mince my meat. I cut fish and even chop up fish as well as small raw chicken bones to make stock for curry or soup. Okay, alright, so I'm going to leave it here after I do this stropping on the stone. I'll do some stropping on leather, and then we'll put the blade to the test.